Hey, Hardin County, it is September 17th on a Tuesday, commissioners meeting. I'll give you a brief overview. Amber Cronley came in, Children's Services, they had a really long executive session. Josh Anderson, which with the CATS transportation came in. He sort of gave an update. They didn't really talk about much other than it's going well. I know they're still waiting to hear about the van from Hardin Hills, if they're going to be able to get that, but they're a private entity, and so there's a lot of discussion about the fact that there can't be, I don't know if they don't want to pay for the van, that they want the county to gift the van to them, but they're private, and so they can't do that necessarily. So, but really it was kind of not much going on there. Dion Staley from the health department, the director of nursing, and the president of the health board came in. They started talking about a new TB case. So we have the one TB case already that they came in and asked for funding for, because it's really putting a big burden on their department. And now they have a new TB case on Friday. And of course, they talked about the TB case before, just general information. And this time they went into executive session, but it was a new executive session. It was a G5, which is stating that it's executive session because there are legal reasons why they couldn't, either like federal laws, state laws, local laws that say that they can't share that information. It was a pretty lengthy meeting, and I thought it was kind of interesting because I don't have it on video, but when I walked back in, Tim was telling them that, whatever we talked about in this meeting, you're not allowed to share because it was an executive session. So kind of unusual. That doesn't usually happen. So I'm not sure how that meeting went, because so I'm going to finish the update, and then we've got some new things that are happening in the commissioner's office. So that was, and they asked about using Hardin Hills, kind of their circle drive there, to do a vaccine clinic, and they just needed permission to use the restrooms and use that driveway. I think Tim was kind of confused. If you watch the video, he was kind of offering other buildings and things, but it's really, they just want to use the circle drive. They'll set up there underneath the canopy. People will drive in, they'll get their vaccines and move out, and then they just need access to the bathrooms for the staff who's going to be there. So, so that's kind of that thing. Judge Santos and Judge Christopher came in today. But of course, we have this whole controversy with this public defender. Brad Bailey and the judges have been coming in talking about getting more funding for staff. And then we have this kind of the sales guy from the Lima area coming and saying, oh, you guys can do a public defender. Well, now the judges are back, and Maria Santos has had a long pitch about, they will sell you, like any salesperson, that this is going to be a better deal, but it's not a better deal, especially if you would bring an office here. You're going to have a lot of overhead. And for her court system, the public defender is only going to work for probably 10 to maybe 20% of her cases. The child services cases, still, they're not going to be able to help with. The attempt of court, they can't help with. So there's a lot of, she names off several. She goes through, though. I would encourage you guys to watch that section of the video when I get it posted, because it's very informative. That, it sounds like a good deal, but it's not necessarily what we need. And we're looking for, she was talking about when things get regionalized, all the time we end up paying the higher cost because you're paying Lima prices, and then we're not getting any services. She talked about the private, no, that was the other, let's see, legal aid went regional, right? So you had legal, well, they don't get any services. right? Because we're Hardin County. We're a tiny little spot here, so we don't get any services, and yet we're paying. And so they are just really encouraging the commissioners that and Roger wasn't there today, so Fred and Tim had to barely be up on their game, that you have to pay attention, look at the contract, and see what's going on. And again, watch the video. There's a lot of details in there. So they had that, and there was a wellness lunch going on. They had some training that was going on, and the commissioners and a lot of the staff in the courthouse are at that training. It was all about burnout. And so you get a nice lunch, you get a break, and you get to talk to a speaker, and that's going to help your burnout. So anyway, so here are some bigger things. Actually, I'm going to make another post. This one's getting long enough. This is the meeting for September 17th. I'm going to jump on here again, and I'm going to tell you the things that are changing in the commissioner's office. And I think you're going to want to find out. All right.